Good evening, fans, and welcome to tonight's contest. A happy new year to one and all. As we're at Hawthorne High School as the Cougars take on the Mustangs of Mira Costa. The game has just gotten underway. Our early score is 4-3 in favor of the Cougars, and we'll recap the action for you in just a moment. Only 2 minutes of game time has actually passed as the Cougars push it up the floor. I'm Rufus Washington, joined by Dave Marks, as always. Charging call there on the Don Baines. In this contest tonight, it's the first in the Ocean League, and it's Channel 22's premier broadcast of the new millennium. Dave, so let me first of all say Happy New Year to you and Happy New Year to all the Channel 22 fans who are joining us tonight.
My sentiments exactly, Rufus, but the new year brings an old rivalry between these two schools, Mira Costa and Hawthorne, and the Ocean League for the second year. Teams kind of evenly matched.
And right now, a score with that basket stands at 6-4 in favor of the visitors. The visitors come in with a record of 6 up and 7 down, 0-1 in Ocean League competition, and we'll talk about that in a minute because I'm sure the fans are accustomed to hearing us say Bay League during the football season. But this is indeed basketball season, and they switch leagues. This is the Ocean League. Why don't we talk a little bit about Hawthorne's record coming into tonight's contest?
Well, Hawthorne overall is 5-9. They're 0-1 in the Ocean League. They lost their opening Ocean League contest. And Joe House coaching in his fourth season. This is his second season coaching the varsity. He was with the freshman and the sophomore. He's looking for the team to get off to a good start tonight. And he's expecting number 3, Adon Baines, gentleman with the ball now, is a senior, to kind of settle things down for the squad.
And obviously with both teams being winless so far in league competition, somebody's going to get on the board with a win tonight in this contest. Our referee for tonight's contest is Virgil Sanders. The other official is Greg McMullen. Let's talk about the starting lineup while we've got a timeout here. Dave, the starting lineup for Hawthorne consists of number 3, Adon Baines, number 25, Rodney Williams, number 4, Hassan Ketter, number 5, Terrence Ford, and number 12, Jermaine Hummel. For Mira Costa, we have 21, Ensler, 23, Wiley, 33, Morris, 43, Lee, and 51, Anderson.
And, of course, for Hawthorne, you mentioned Hassan Ketter starting at center. This is his first game. He was injured. He sat out all summer, suffered a tailbone injury last year, so looking to get him off and kind of get him loose.
And there you have Ketter on the inside. Number 4, as we mentioned, puts it up and in. The Tires score at 6. The other thing about this Hawthorne team, Dave, is that they've only got 2 guys who actually were on this varsity squad last year. This is a whole new group of kids, most of them coming up from junior varsity. But Ketter and Baines are the only 2 returning players from last year's varsity squad.
And Coach House is expecting a lot of leadership from them, particularly Adon Baines, who is a good ball handler, good floor general out there. And this Mira Costa team that you're looking at with a 6-7 record, they're coached by Glenn Marks. He's in his 12th year out of graduated from CSUN, Cal State Northridge. Went to North Hollywood High School, class of 69, and they are trying to, of course, get back and repeat as Ocean League champs. They were Ocean League champs last year. They were 18-9, and they lost in the first round of the playoffs in overtime to Ventura. But they're a young team. They're not the same team that won that championship last year. They're young, and a lot of juniors on the squad. As a matter of fact, only 2 seniors on their team, and none of this. One senior is the starter, Taraz Lee.
There you see a basket put up and in by Lee, who you was just mentioning, the senior, number 43. Makes our score now 8-6. We've got 3:29 left in the first period, fans. Shot from distance put up for the Cougars, no good. Rebound taken down by number 34. He turns around, puts the shot up and in. That's Samuel O'Bailey.
Well, he's expected to be a good rebounder. They know he can leap at 6'3". He's a senior.
Of course, as I was telling the guys on the production crew a little bit earlier, I watched the game with a bit of a different interest now that I'm doing a little coaching myself, coaching a group of 3rd and 4th graders in NJB down in Orange County. And we're 3 up and 1 down ourselves, not doing too bad. So, but I'm here to pick up some tips from the big boys tonight, in addition to calling this game for Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22.
You know, I'm interested in finding out these third and fourth graders. That's when you start to learn some of the early skills.
Well, we've got some pretty good guys. Nobody who will be drafted next year, but some kids who've got real good potential. And it's a lot of fun. It really and truly is. And I would imagine, and as we've spoken about in the past about the kids around here that attend school at both Hawthorne, Lusinger, and now Lawndale High, and even some of these other guys play in leagues during the summer, and they're fairly familiar with each other here in the South Bay. Our score now 9-8 with a second free throw coming here for Finnerty. Finnerty, a fairly big kid, eats up a lot of space, as you might imagine there. They play in the post position for him and showing good quickness for a guy his size. I mean, he's a good solid 250, 260, and he's moving up and down the floor. There you see him on your camera.
Well, it's amazing how Charles Barkley really, for a big man, kind of revolutionized the bulk in that position. He proved he could do it. Now everyone else is a believer.
Well, what he showed and what you see in Finnerty here is that if you're willing to run the floor, foul's going to be called there on Terrence Ford. You know, the game is equal for all players if you're willing to run the floor. And Finnerty is showing, certainly showing his willingness to run the floor.
Well, on the foul line, Jacob Insler, the junior point guard for Mira Costa. And right here for Hawthorne, they're going to get Hassan Ketter back into the ball game. So they go with Ketter and Terrence Ford, the two big people, with Terrence Ford being the being the big rebounder.
10-8 our score now with 2.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Baines brings it across the 10-point line. Goes into the attack zone, puts it up from distance. Shot rebounds high, it's no good. Hawthorne controls, can't put the putback in though. And Mira Costa comes down with the rebound. That was Wiley on the rebound. There we got a steal. And number 33 for Hawthorne, having a little trouble controlling the ball. Has it tipped away by Geyer. And now they settle it down and start to run the offense. They get it inside to Finnerty, and his shot is blocked. Excellent inside defense there by number 33 for the Cougars.
Oh, it's Lewis White with the block. Lewis White, the sophomore, standing at 6'3", making his presence felt kind of early.
Mira Costa inbounds. They get it back up top now and set their offense again. Cross-court pass sets up a three-pointer from distance. It's up and good. That three-point shot put up by Morris. That makes our score now 13-8 in favor of the visitors.
And Dwayne Morris, one of the trifecta of guards, as Mira Costa starts a three-guard offense, basically. That is Morris there, number 33, getting the pick.
Steal there by the Cougars. Baines pushes it up, looking for someone to pass to. Dribbles high, cuts through, throws it up, and gets them all. They called travel. Drew a lot of contact, thought there was going to be a foul on the play, and said the referee, Virgil Samuels, opts for the travel call.
Well, you got to admire at least the effort by Baines, attempting to penetrate, break something down. They trail by 5. Offense has been a little flat, and Joe House knows that Baines is a streaky player. He can penetrate, he can hit from the outside, and when he catches fire, he can carry a team offensively. At 19 points against El Segundo.
And they work the ball on the inside to Morris, number 33. Some distance now being put between the Cougars and the Mustangs as our score is 15-8. We've got about 45 seconds left. Ketter in the lane, puts it up, draws the front of the rim, go to the line to shoot 2.
Good patience that time by the Hawthorne Cougars. They got the right matchup. Ketter not able to hit the shot, but he drew the foul. And of course, don't want to panic. It's only 43 seconds to go first quarter, 15-8. And these are teams, of course, that will switch off between the man, and the 1-2-2 zones, depending on game situations. But you got to hit your foul shots.
And Ketter doesn't convert on the first free throw attempt. His second attempt coming up. So Ketter misses a deuce at the line. Now they're going to get a travel call on Jennings. Didn't establish a pivot foot while he was in there, moved both feet. So the Cougars catch a break, and now it's going to be Cougar basketball. I think the Cougars need to stop officiating and just play. Again, they were signaling the other way. There's Baines' shot from distance. Draws iron, still hasn't gotten one to go yet. They put the shot up inside. Going to be a foul called on the play. Looks like it's going to go against Mira Costa, Dave.
Well, Baines, of course, shooting kind of quickly there, not getting it to go. And, still not in a panic situation. I'm sure Coach House would like to see them work to get the best possible shot to get the advantage. But, that's the way you work yourself back into the ball game. And then, of course, you play good defense. It's very early. 33 seconds to go in the first quarter. 15-9 right now. With Lewis White on the free throw line as he hit the two.
And well, wait a second. Okay, now they changed it around, 16-10. I think that score is still incorrect, but right now the board shows 16-10 with under 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. Shot put up. Offensive rebound taken down by Mira Costa. Now Ketter gets the ball. It goes to the floor. They call jump ball possession arrow. Favors the Mustangs of Mira Costa. So with 6 seconds left here in the first quarter, they lead by a score of 15-10. Now the board's corrected. They make a quick substitution to get Finnerty back in the game for Jennings. Shot from the outside, no good. Clock should expire here, and it does. So, after one quarter, a score. The visitors from Mira Costa, known as the Mustangs, lead by a score of 15-10 over the Hawthorne Cougars here on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22.
Welcome to the Cougars Den. As Joe House welcomes you right there. Joe House at one time was in the New York Mets baseball minor league system. Had a chance at baseball, that was back about 1980, and had an injury at home plate, at a home plate collision that ended his baseball career, and he felt that, well, since his ability to play athletics was diminished at that point, what he spiritually felt he could do would be to give back. And he's been doing it ever since, about 20 years now. Dedicates himself to the youngsters, to coaching, and very dedicated. Appears to be a very spiritually guided person, and has done a good job with this program. With basically, as we've noted, only 2 people returning from last year.
So it bodes well for your future, doesn't bode very well for your present, though.
And of course, when you talk about Joe House working his way up, coaching the freshman and the sophomore team, so he truly did work his way sort of through the system, so to speak.
Off-balance shot put up by the Cougars, no good. Foul called on the play.
Maybe some people are still kind of getting over the whole Millennium celebration, because it was a draining weekend last week, I think anyone would agree, but this is a Friday night, and you would not know it. I mean, not much cheering, not much yelling, not much intensity here from either teams. People still kind of lackluster after watching that 30-plus hours of Millennium coverage, seeing the Millennium come in from the Polynesian Islands at 2 in the morning.
Well, it certainly seems that way. Crowd a little reserved right now. I think looking for something to get him excited. Going to have a foul called here on Finnerty.
But Rufus, if the score is close with 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, we'll be looking back to this point, the 7:50 mark, and we're saying what a difference. There'll be an event.
7:50 left in the first half.
And these 2 teams did actually, they didn't face each other, but they saw each other. Mira Costa holds a tournament early in the year. They held it around Thanksgiving time, and They also took place in the El Segundo tournament. Both of these teams played in that tournament, although they didn't play each other. So the coaches are kind of familiar with what the other players have.
So Ketter makes 1 out of 2, makes it a 15-12 ball game now. Mira Costa still leads Finnerty inside, not showing a lot of good footwork. However, Mira Costa seemingly coming up with every loose ball. Nice no-look pass there, a bit high. No-look pass attempted by number 21, Ensler, and just missed his target. So that gives the Cougars the ball to bring up. Again, Baines, no mystery there as the point guard brings it across the 10-second line. In control. Exhibits some of his ball handling skills. Now he gets a shot to drop finally. It's a three-pointer. And just like that, we've got a tie ball game. And Coach Glenn Marks says it's time to talk things over. What he doesn't want to see happen is he doesn't want to see Adon Baines get hot. As you say, he's a streak shooter, and all of a sudden, man, he can blow you right out the gym.
And we saw a game last year between Baines and the Lusinger point guard down at Lusinger on Rosecrans, and they just went mano-a-mano that ball game last year. Speaking of which, we may get a chance to see that next week because these two teams are actually Lusinger and Hawthorne are going to play right here next week, and we'll have that for you on Channel 22, Lawndale Community Cable. The two teams that we covered, Lusinger Olympians and the Hawthorne Cougars, will get a chance to go at it next week. And I think it'll be a little more elevated for that one.
Well, exactly. Being the rivalry that it is, that'll bring out the crowd for sure. So our score of 15-15. Hawthorne now showing some pressure. Mira Costa breaks it easily. Good shot block there. Go for the home run. Shot put up, and let's see how he wants to call it. Calls it in favor of Mira Costa. Guys starting to run just a little bit, wanting to run at least, but you got to do it in a controlled fashion.
Now they're in the man-to-man defense of Cougars.
And as number 33 goes baseline, he's fouled on the play by one of the interior guys. Number 24 for the Cougars is a guy that the referee showed the foul on. Not quite sure I've got who that is in my program.
We see the big guard, Dwayne Morris. He hit some of those outside shots for the three-pointers in the first quarter, and you see obviously here he has the ability to go baseline. So he plays the third guard and the big guard at 6'3".
And he converts both free throws. Makes it a 17-15 score. Now Mira Costa takes the lead again. Baines attempting to stay hot, puts it up from the outside. It's no good. Mira Costa comes down with the rebound. Looking to run, they push it up, working the left side of the court. Get it underneath in the lane to Finnerty. He's in there an awful long time. Gonna call jump ball, possession arrow. Points to Mira Costa. And now we've got a couple of substitutes coming on the floor. Finnerty for one goes off, along with Rocky Cassili. We'll set the lineup for you in just a moment. Got a travel call here. Referee a bit generous as, in my estimation, Baines undercut the Mira Costa player, which caused him to go to the floor.
Well, Mira Costa coach Glenn Marks taking a look and questioning that call by the official.
Good interior pass here. Kind of shot you got to make. That shot was put up by number 34 for the Olympians. Olympians still maintain possession. They get it out to Baines. He shoots from distance. His shot no good. Well, the Cougars got a lot of looks at it, and they come away empty. And now Mira Costa is running. Shot from the short baseline is good by number 51, Anderson.
Yeah, you get that many attempts, you got to hit one of them or at least get to the line, get fouls.
So after the Cougars catch him at 15, Mira Costa scores 4 unanswered points, and now
and zone pressure leads to the steal.
Steal there. They don't convert on the layup. So the Cougars dodge a bullet there. This is also our first game, fans, so we're getting a few of the rough spots out as well.
What rough spots? You've been doing this for 12 years.
Oh, I call it my own version of a Y2K bug, if you will.
Okay.
Now, they decide to slow it down a little bit. Even though these are young guys, even they have to catch their breath once in a while. Yeah, shot from the baseline. Hawthorne comes away with it. Some pressure applied by Mira Costa. Play looking real sloppy right now. And we're going to get a foul called on the play. They're going to call a foul on number 42, David Mitchell.
Well, Hawthorne just hasn't had a very smart answer for the zone that Mira Costa has put them in. They apparently don't know how to attack it too well. And it's led to a couple of turnovers. They've been stuck on 15 for the longest time. 19-15, 4:46 to go here in this second quarter from El Segundo Boulevard, home of the Hawthorne Cougars, Dan.
Cougars have put 5 points on the board. They've actually outscored Mira Costa in this quarter 5-4, although they trail by a score of 19-15. I had my head turned, looked like a technical, obviously was called against somebody. Not quite sure what happened there, Dave.
Someone on the Hawthorne bench not liking something. So that means that DeMorris shoots the technicals in addition to the foul shots that he'll be taking. There you see Glenn Marks.
And, wow.
So this is an interesting situation here.
So he shoots three free throws. Here comes a fourth. I'm not sure if 2 technicals were called on the bench or there was a foul earlier. Nonetheless, number 33, Morris, makes 3 out of 4 free throws to extend the game, to extend the lead now to 21-15 with 4:46 left here in the first half.
And the Hawthorne bench will
now
take the
you've
time.
got a difference of opinion between Coach House and the referee, Virgil Sanders. We'll see if we can get some of this sorted out for you at halftime, fans. Dave.
Well, of course, here a good timeout because you want to kind of calm things down. If it was, in fact, the bench that blew up that didn't like a particular call, you can see the frustration because their offense is not fluid. They're not attacking the zone the way they want. They're not coming away with points, so it leads to frustration on the other end. And, of course, when you get the text called, good choice here to call timeout because Mira Costa is going to get the ball. So they're going to have to go to play the defense. The last couple of defensive stands for Hawthorne have been the man-to-man, which hasn't worked too well as it's been broken down. And we'll see if they come out and play it again.
So after losing your guy, I tell you, it's a Y2K bug. That's what I'm going to put it on no matter what, fans. After Hawthorne catches them at 15, got a travel call here against Mira Costa, but I was about to say Mira Costa's outscored him 7-0 after the Cougars caught him at 15. Baines now brings the ball up. Baines pops from inside the three-point line, basket good. Makes a score now 22-17. And that was number 23 scoring. That's Wiley.
Ivy Wiley is the shooting guard, so he answers Adon Baines.
Baines shot again, no good. Baines certainly gets his fair share of shots in this offense.
It's a fairly small unit on the court for Hawthorne right now. And nothing down low.
Baines putting on his dribbling exhibition. Takes a stroll down the baseline. Possession arrow shows that it's gonna be Cougar basketball.
So the rather small lineup for the Cougars.
And the lineup gets even smaller as number 34 goes off for the Cougars. That's O'Bailey, and looks like number 11, Can't tell if it's 11 or 14. Nathan Patrick comes on. Okay, that's 11. Nathan Patrick, yes. Patrick shot blocked from behind, but he's going to get a foul call on the play.
Well, that's a fairly easy call to make. If you're wondering what else is going on tonight in the Ocean League, everybody is in action. Lusinger, the other school that we cover that Rufus says he has the Y2K bug about, well, they're at home tonight playing Beverly Hills. Culver City is at West Torrance, and Torrance is at El Segundo, and then we have this match right here.
All of that, of course, Ocean League action tonight. Baines still a little bit short on his shots. Ball goes over to Patrick, puts it up, it's no good. Shooting percentage right now has got to be awfully low for the Cougars. There's another Cougar turnover. Right now, they trail by 7. Ball's put up, no good. Follow, no good. Rebound finally down to the Cougars, taken by Carlos Rodriguez. And we have a foul called on the play. That foul's going to be called on number 43, Lee.
Well, I think they called a charge that time, and Don Baines didn't have position, and this Cougar offense is not...
Well, Baines fooled me, didn't fool the official. He walked to the free throw line as if he was going to shoot. But you're right, the call went against him. Oh, God. Pass to nowhere in particular. So it's another turnover for the Cougars. Shot on the wing. Good pass in there by the Mustangs.
Well, at the 2:32 mark to go till a halftime, if ever a team wanted to get into that locker room, you got to believe it's these Hawthorne Cougars right now. Down 24-17, their largest deficit, and they just kind of want to get out of here before this thing gets out of hand at the half. Because the way they're playing now does not look pretty.
I got to tell you, and you're right, Dave. I mean, we got to call a spade a spade. It has not been a particularly well-played half for the Cougars, and I think they're fortunate to only be down 7-8 now at a score of 25-17. As number 21, Ensler, starting guard, puts a second free throw up, makes it a 26-17 score now.
Right now, he'll have Nathan Patrick running the point. Don Baines hits that shot.
Baines for the three-pointer. Draws him a little closer at 26-20 with just over 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Oh. Looked like it was a good block on top, but they're going to say there was some contact down underneath, which is going to send Wiley to the line to shoot 2.
Hassan Ketter getting called for the foul there. So Wiley right back to that line. I mentioned Mira Costa losing their first game in the Ocean League. They lost to Lusinger, and Hawthorne lost their first Ocean League contest to El Segundo. So one of them will obviously get in the win column tonight.
And they convert 2 to make it now a 28-20 contest. Hawthorne still trailing. They were last even. There you go, Baines again. Baines starting to feel it. Let's see. And they give him the triple on that, so that makes it 28-23 now. Got to have some help in there. Cougars come down with it. Baines running on the right wing, cuts to the basket, layup up and in. Don Baines has scored 8 straight points to make it now a 28-25 ball game.
Close that gap kind of quickly.
Very quickly. And you got a travel call. So what was a 26-17 score is now a 28-25 score.
And we'll see if Don Baines wants to put it up quickly.
Well, he's feeling it, and he obviously has the green light from Coach House to shoot at will. Ketter with the rebound. Ketter looks to go up. And a call of jump ball there.
Well, you've got to like the way Ketter came in there and at least got the offensive rebound. When someone's going to shoot from outside, you want to get somebody under the boards, and he was Johnny on the spot, but unfortunately tied up, and it goes back to Mira Costa as we approach the 1 minute mark.
That's Ensler handling against Baines. They look down inside now. Hit the baseline, ball comes loose. It goes back out top. Shot put up inside by Lee, and it's good. Makes it a 30-25 game. We do have a shot clock, by the way. It's a 35-second shot clock. From distance by Baines, out one, no good. And they call a foul on the inside against the Cougars. Looks like he's going to call this one against number 12 for the Cougars, and he does. Number 12 is Jermaine Hummel.
Yeah, Mira Costa.
Jermaine Humes, I'm sorry. I said Hummel, Jermaine Humes. To Jermaine and his family, I apologize. Y2K strikes again.
This is Jai Jennings shooting the free throws there for Mira Costa, and that time off the long miss. They're able to beat Hawthorne up the floor and get numbers. As Everett Gent came back in the ball game, number 41.
Second free throw is good. Makes it a 6-point game now with 28 seconds left. So the the 35-second shot clock of no consequence. Shot put up, it's no good. Cougars should look to, again, all put down, no foul call. Cougars are certainly going to think that they've gotten the short end of the foul calls here in the first half. That one up and no good. 1 second left. Shot's up. It's good if it goes. Doesn't go, but an excellent attempt there by Rodney Williams.
Yes, and he's the shooting guard, and with his point guard, Adon Baines, doing a lot of the shooting, he didn't get too many touches this first half.
So Coach Joe House leads his troops to the locker room at halftime with our score here on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. The visiting Mustangs of Mira Costa 31, the Hawthorne Cougars 25. Stay with us, fans, as we're here in the Cougars Den on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. We'll be back here at the top of the second half. Okay. Oh, okay. We're back on, folks. Generosity here, the folks here at Hawthorne. I don't know whether scholastic reasons allow us to accept these, but I'm going to enjoy them for right now. There you see Coach House. We're just about to start the second half, fans. Hawthorne right now trails by a score of 31-25. They inbound. Baines puts it up and in, the three-pointer. So Adon Baines adds to the 15 that he had at halftime. Dave gives him 18 on the game, but more importantly, it draws the Cougars to within 3, and Marks takes a quick timeout. 12 seconds gone by. He sees Adon Baines make one three-pointer and decides it's time to talk it over.
That is quick. I mean, the only thing they could be talking about would be how to match up defensively, of course. And you got a shooter like that. They frustrated him quite a bit in the second quarter with the zone defense. That's where they were able. But, you know, if he's going to hit shots like that, there's nothing much any zone coverage can do. He's a streaky shooter. He can get hot, he can get colds, but what they were able to do when they were in the zone was they denied anything down low, as Hawthorne has not established a down low post game at all, and they denied a lot of penetration. So I guess we'll see how they're going to come out and attack it defensively when they go on defense, but of course they're going to go on offense right now.
So it's Mira Costa. Mira Costa's basketball over on the far sideline. They inbound it. That's Inslee, the point guard. And you can tell by the way Insley's playing, he considers it a challenge to play against a guy like Adon Baines. Having to switch their Baines on the bigger man, trying to get it back under. Rebound taken down by the Cougars, and they throw it away. That was Jermaine Humes.
And Humes starting at the off-guard position. Rodney Williams started the ball game, and he, of course, did not. I mean, not get many touches when he was in the ball game in the first half. He shot that ball near half court in the end of the half. Probably his best look.
Good steal there by Baines as he stuck his hand in there. He pushes it up, 2 on 4, stops and pops. No good. They get a chance to come away with it, but they don't control. Mira Costa does a good job from what we've seen so far, Dave, of getting their hands on all the loose balls. They just seem to get the balls that are out there to be taken by either team.
And this man here, Dwayne Morris, had a big first half as he gets it to lead.
Shot up, no good. Once again, wow.
I heard that, no whistle.
A lot of contact, no whistle. You're right. Unfortunately, no injury. And now we're going to have a stoppage in play. They're going to call a foul. Let's see. This is going to be important, whether or not they call this on Ketter. Yeah, that's the indication that the foul's called on Hassan Ketter. He didn't have 2 at the half because I also went over the foul situation. A couple of Cougars had 2 fouls. Baines has 2. Williams has 2. Ford has 2 fouls, and Carlos Rodriguez had 2.
Yeah,
if that foul, if the indication is that foul is on Baines, and that's his 3rd, and all of a sudden that's a bit more of a dicey situation for the Cougars.
And Jacob Mintzler with the bucket as he got it in close. And he's 28, Mira Costa.
Exactly.
They're in that zone, so they're going to have to think. And take a little time, no need to chuck it. 2-3 zone, but he will chuck.
Baines from out top, Ketter with the rebound. Ketter up, inside stuff not going, but an excellent follow that time by number 5 for the Cougars, Terrence Ford. Makes our score 33-30 now. We've got 6 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. I don't think the Cougars have led well, no, they did have an early lead at 4-3 at one point. Have not led since then. They tied them at 15, and ever since then they've been looking at them from behind. That basket put up and in by number 23, Wiley.
And good pass by Ensler. Hawthorne in the man-to-man.
Their leading scorer for Mira Costa at the half was number 33, Morris. His dad, the scorekeeper over there. And speaking of Morris, that's him who came down with the rebound, and he was fouled on the play by number 22, Marcus McNeil. I was about to say, let me just get this in, Dave, on if you will, on Morris, number 33 for Mira Costa. Like I say, his dad, excellent scorekeeper. In addition to being, I say, well, you got to be proud of your son. And said, of course we are, for the scoring that he did in the first half there. Baines with the steal. Baines loses the handle. Got to try not to do too much now with 3 fouls. Has to let him go, lets him go. We're going to get a foul call. And this one's going to go against the Cougars as well. This foul called on number 11, Nathan Patrick.
Well, as it is a new year and a new millennium, something that you fans out there are noticing, our production. We'll tell you a little bit about the production crew. They have 2 cameras on the floor level tonight, which is very good. Very good thing.
Shot from the outside, no good. Going to have a foul called inside. This one's going to go against Mira Costa, number 51, Anderson.
So you folks out there in Lawndale, so your taxes at work.
Exactly.
Improved production quality. 2 cameras on the floor, and they're bringing out all the stops here tonight for this first basketball game of 2000.
Baines with the handle, Baines with the nice dish. A lot of nice pass in there. No scoring yet. Baines with the shot from the outside, and it's good. Another triple for Adon Baines.
And another for the highlight reel for that gentleman.
Makes the score now 35-33. We've got 4:35 left here in the 3rd quarter at the Cougar Den. And on the Dipsy Doodle, that's Inslee. So the point guards matching each other right now. Except Baines is scoring 3s and Inslee scoring 2s. Baines again, his shot no good. Baines goes to the floor, looks for some contact, no call on the play. 4-point game, 37-33. Oh, that's got to be a jump ball. Ooh. The official, Greg McMullen, elects to call a foul.
Well, they spotted Rodney Williams. You're right, Ruben. It did look like it could have been a jump ball.
And right now, we don't have a replay opportunity. And again, it's, as I said, it's early in our 2000 season, but that was one of those that looked like all ball. We're back to live action on the inbounds play here as Mira Costa inbounds. They inbounded underneath. The Cougar defense went to sleep on that play, and now they're trailing by a score of 39-33, under 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. Shot from the outside up, no good. Inslee brings the ball across the 10-point line. He's guarded by Baines. Baines has to give him a little bit of room. Inslee puts the ball up and in. 41-33 now, and Coach House may be thinking timeout.
Oh, you said, Rufus, these
and
guys
that's the indication. Timeout at the 3:28 mark of the third, with the Cougars trailing by 8 at 41-33.
You know, you mentioned these guys are rivals. I mean, Jacob Insler isn't about to have his lights put out by the likes of Adon Baines. He's shown what he can do, the ability to penetrate and create something, and he's gotten the Mira Costa Mustangs, last year's champions in the Ocean League, out to an 8-point lead at the 3:28 mark of the third quarter. In the first game here played tonight between the JV squads, you might mention the JV for Mira Costa beat Hawthorne's JV by 12.
And it was a good game. There's a lot of height on that JV squad for Hawthorne. Looks good for the year to come. I mean, they put up a good game.
We scan the crowd here at this nice facility. Welcome to the Cougars, Dan. I mean, we don't want to play favorites, but it is a little bigger than the Lusinger Olympians, the Olympians pit, shall we say, down on Rosecrans. That's a little cozier. I guess that place is a little cozier, but this is
that's
bigger.
the way they look at it. It's going to have a turnover there.
And I meant pit. I meant that in a nice way. I didn't mean that in a bad. I mean, you have the pit at Albuquerque, right? You know,
of course,
where the University of New Mexico plays.
So Mira Costa with the ball. Lusinger had possession. They failed to score out of the timeout, which is usually one of the objectives, but they prevent, with good defense, they prevent Mira Costa from scoring. Now they're going to switch things around a little bit, and they're going to see if Baines can shoot off the ball, I would imagine. There's a three-pointer put up and in by Rodney Williams.
Well, you know, that's he's got to get some touches here. He didn't get any in the first half, and he's averaging 12 points a game. He had 13 against El Segundo, so he is the off guard, and he can score. They need someone else besides Adon Baines, or else they're just going to face his zone all night and not give Mira Costa much to think about defensively.
So again, that's Nathan Patrick, and the ball goes to Baines. Now Baines shot up and in. So what we see is a switch here. That makes our score 41-38, back to a three-point ball game. But what we see on the switch there was we see, and once again, Hawthorne unable to come down with the loose ball. But as I was about to say, the coaching change that Coach House made, which has paid dividends already, was he relieved Baines of the ball handling responsibility, because sometimes a guy, one, is just having to do too many things. And he's letting Patrick direct the offense and letting Baines pretty much play shooting guard.
And that gives Glenn Marks and Mira Costa something else to think about, something else to try to counter.
There's a turnover. Baines pushes it up, looks ahead, doesn't have anybody to give it off to. Wow, shoots from NBA range. That one's no good. They're going to call Ketter over the back.
That was some Harlem Globetrotter range right there.
Must be nice to have a green light to shoot from wherever you want to, whenever you want to.
Hey, to be young and a basketball player.
I mean, I can tell you, even as a coach myself, my son doesn't have that kind of green light, but then again, my son, I'd be the first to admit, is Noah Don Baines at this stage of his career, only being 9 years old. But Shows the confidence that the Hawthorne coaching staff, though, has in this young man. And that's got to be about 4 fouls on Ketter. Maybe it's 3. But we know for sure we've seen 2 called in this period. We've got 1:34 left here in the third quarter with the Mustangs of Mira Costa leading by 3, looking to extend that lead. However, Inslee misses the first of 2.
You got to like the ball movement there. They took a lot of time off the 35-second clock, and they worked it until they could get to an advantage that got them to the free throw line.
And Ketter goes off, I'm sure as a concession to his foul situation, and Jermaine Humes comes in. It's a 4-point game at 42-38. We got 1.5 minutes left here.
Good movement against his own to the weak side. They need a little more than just an acrobatic shot by Baines. Got to give it up, Baines.
Baines shoots from the outside, puts it up and in.
Well, he should have given it up, but he hit the shot. Hey, how about that?
It's one of those Marv Albert calls. No, no, yes! And got a timeout taken by Mira Costa. A score of 42-20. Exactly 1 minute left here in the third of what has been a fairly exciting game here at the Cougars Den in Hawthorne, California. Fans, hope you're enjoying this contest being brought to you by the fine folks at Londell's Community Cable Channel 22. This broadcast being made possible by the generosity of the Londell Cable Usage Corporation and the City of Londell and the fine folks who serve on the Londell City Council.
Yes, and I had a chance to visit those headquarters over the break. Had a chance to visit the old studios of Channel 22. It's an interesting place.
Lead number 43 inbounds, gets it in to 23. There they get it down to their high point man, who's Morris, and Morris sinks the deuce. So the Cougars, they get close, but they have not been able to draw even, and again, they're within 2 on the excellent feed by Baines and the excellent basket by Terrence Ford. Excellent ball handling there by Morris. Shot put up and in, that was Inslee. And they give him a 3 on that, so that makes it 47-42. Wow, they could have called double dribble there. Actually picked up the dribble and started again. Wow, what are we gonna have? We got
Maybe something with the shot clock. Probably the shot clock should have been turned off. I believe they got the possession after 35 seconds. There's 20 seconds to go now in the quarter. Had a couple of problems with that during the JV game and not setting the 35-second clock properly. There's a killer zone right there.
Oh, you got to take that shot from outside, 33. Probably not a shot he's permitted to take. That's Lewis White. Inslee shot, and it's no good, so they dodge a small bullet there. But after 3, they trail by a score of 47-42 to the Mustangs of Mira Costa. Cougars got 8 minutes to pull this one out, Dave.
Yes, and of course, you can look at it as sort of an 8-minute chess match. How will the coaches choose to attack it? We saw when Coach Howe selected to take Baines off the ball and make him take him away from having to handle it and put him at an off-guard position. That had somewhat of an effect. And you've seen basically Coach Marks counter by getting Dwayne Morris, their leading gun, more into the offense and kind of changing the flow of their offense. So it's going to come down to coaching right here, and can the players execute? It should be a chess match. It's been a close game all the way. Mira Costa had an 8-9-point lead. Hawthorne had an early 1-point lead very, very early. And as you mentioned, they have yet to, they've gotten it down to 2 points, but have yet to be able to get over that 2-point hump. And they've got 8 minutes to do something about it.
What was the halftime?
So it's Mira Costa's ball to open the 4th. As they go to our left. A lot of ball handling. They come away with it, and Rare foul call on the Mustangs. They called a foul on Wiley.
You're right, it is red. That's only their second team foul. Talking about chess matches, they've played a tough zone which has come out the last couple of minutes. Little trap near half court.
And you pointed this out earlier, and I didn't pay a lot of attention to it then, but the size factor certainly appears to be hurting the Cougars as the Mustangs score again on the inside to make it a 49-42 score with 7:15 left in the contest. But they just did not get in the offensive rebounds that it takes in order, because you got to get second and third opportunities, and they just aren't getting them. It's one and out, basically.
As you see, they didn't get one there. Man-to-man for Hawthorne.
Inslee goes to the basket. It's no good. Shot put up and in by number 23, Wiley. And now we got ourselves a 9-point ball game. Baines is on the floor. They got a couple of different people now who are attempting to give him a break by handling, letting him get to the basket. His shot goes up and in. Little dipsy-do there. Guy has a number of shots in his repertoire. And we've seen just about the whole show tonight.
Yeah, good little move there by Dwayne Morris.
That's Morris. Morris has at least 20, if not more, on the night.
They're going to get a blocking foul there, charged against Mira Costa. And Mira Costa has handled that one-to-one defense played by Hawthorne fairly well. They've handled the man-to-man fairly well.
Out of the stack. Raines gets it on the sideline. Got a bit of a tie up there.
Yeah, that's Marcus McNeil on the tie-up with Jay Jennings. And they'll keep the ball. We've got right at the 6-minute mark. 8-point ball game.
And it's going to be a backcourt violation against the Cougars, an unforced error. So Inslee with the handle out top.
Hawthorne's going to go into a zone now to change up a little.
Shot from way out. Zone takes him out of rebound position as once again Mira Costa comes up with the offensive rebound. As I said, it's been a story of loose balls.
And again, there's a problem with not resetting that 35-second clock. So that's why the referee comes over to scorer's table, tells him to take about 5 seconds off of it.
Okay, ball's inbound. The clock's not running. Okay, clock starts to run now. You would think being the home clock, Cougars would handle it a little bit better, the Cougar scoring table crew.
Well, what is that bug you kept mentioning, Lucas?
They call it Y2K. There's a shot from the outside. Okay. And we're going to have a foul called against Mira Costa. That was number 42, Jennings, over the back.
At the 5:09 mark, right here with a 9-point ball game.
4th team foul on. Now they correct it to the 15 foul against Mira Costa. Baines back to being the primary ball handler now. And
so you see they come out to pressure the guards right near half court, 3/4 courts. And that's been effective for most of this fourth quarter. Not able to get into their offense.
Baines from distance, his shot doesn't draw iron on that one. They're going to call a foul, a push-off there against number 43, Lee.
And also that last time, Rufus, they're having problems with that 35-second clock over the table. When the ball was knocked out of bounds, they reset the clock, which they basically should not have done, but the officials didn't pick up on that.
16 foul, the scoreboard shows. Ketter back in the game now. That was one of the differences there for a long while as Ketter was out. And they call a travel against Baines. 9-point ball game, Dave. 53-44 in favor of Mira Costa. 4:40 left in the contest. If the Cougars are going to make a run, it's got to start soon, and it's going to have to start here with defense.
Right here, they're in a zone. Once again, 1-2-2 zone.
Exactly. Here's where it's such a good thing that the shot clock is now a part of the game of basketball. There we go. And blocked there. Looks like that was Lee who got back to block the shot by Baines rather. Cougar basketball shot from range. That's a three-pointer put up and in by Terrence Ford. Makes it a 6-point ball game with 4 minutes left. Lots of time, small deficit. Cougars definitely in this ball game, Dave. But again, it's now a defensive contest for the, whoa!
Well, the zone worked that time, the 1-2-2, putting pressure.
They put the ball in the hands of their best ball handler and best scorer, Baines, with the high dribble. He gets it to Ketter. Ketter's shot's gonna be short. I'm not sure that you want Ketter shooting from the perimeter at this stage of the game. Ketter's your inside man. You leave the perimeter shooting to Ford and to Baines. Defense breaks down. Lee gets inside, scores the easy layup.
And a good pass from Jacob Bensler.
8-point game, 3 minutes left. Pass by Baines on the dipsy-do. Looking for somebody to pass to. Ketter has it. And that shot put up, and that one's no good by Terrence Ford.
Sean O'Bailey just mistiming the leap on the offensive rebound. As we hit the 250 mark, Mira Costa trying to go up by 10 or more.
Trying to go up. Obviously, defense is what makes a difference here. Now, it's simple in terms of what it takes. There's a steal by Baines, I tell you. I was so anxious to see what he was going to do that I didn't dare speak for blinking my eyes and missing something. Mira Costa here, not thinking shot, hearing from somebody on their sideline saying shoot. There's Inslee takes the shot. Feet were on the three-point line. Snap back to an 8-point ball game with 2 minutes, clock rolling left. And you're gonna get a foul call against, foul's gonna be called against Mira Costa. They're gonna call it, looks like on number 42, Jennings, and that's gonna send Baines to the line.
Yeah, Baines looked like he wanted an 8-point play in about 8 seconds. Still some time. It's one possession at a time, basically.
And you got to play within the context of the game. And of course, Baines being an experienced player, it certainly does that. Still a lot of time left. Again, the small things that matter, fundamentals, free throws. Misses the front end of a 1-and-1, which keeps the lead at 8. They have a foul call now against Rodney Williams. Cougars pressing the basketball.
Well, we mentioned that, when you take a look at the chess matches, the coaches can diagram it, but the players have to execute. You have to agree with the moves that Coach House has made in this fourth quarter, but again, the players have to execute. In that zone, it worked for a little bit, a couple of possessions, but on the offensive end, for the most part, they have not had much of an answer besides Adon Baines. And what Coach Marks and Mira Costa has done is just come out and pressured with the zone near half court, force them to not be able to get into the offense.
And Wiley converts 2 free throws to make it a 10-point game now with a minute and a half left. That shot up and no good. And they're going to call an over-the-back foul on number 34 for the Cougars, Samuel Obale. Looked like a pretty good rebound to me. The officials saw it otherwise. And I want to give a shout out and a thanks to the people in the promotions department here at Hawthorne for gracing us. And quite frankly, they made a specific effort to give us these 2 hats, Dave, and that was mighty generous of them.
Yes, they did give us 2 hats. That is for sure.
My team being my kids' team being the Blue Devils, this will go well with the uniform that I wear, or I should say the jogging suit that I wear. So I'm gonna look forward to wearing it on Sunday, and I'll enjoy. Don't get many free things in life, and this certainly goes down as the first free thing that I've won. Although I did find a quarter in the lunchroom at work the other day. So, first 7 days of the year, I've got a quarter and a new hat.
I mean, in your 12 years at Channel 22, never gotten anything free. Huh?
I'm a quarter and a hat ahead as of tonight.
No Christmas parties, no nothing.
Yeah. Good. And this is Wiley at the line. Misses the front end of a 1-and-1. Ten-point game. It'd be a monumental comeback for the Cougars if they could make it now. A lot of time running off the clock. Whoa! Scored a 3 for Baines and make it 59-52. Got to have pressure defense here. What's happened? And Coach House has put a couple of guys in just to pressure the ball, who also have some fouls to give.
Now, Coach Marks did not want him to take that shot, but if it goes in, it might have put the nail in the coffin with 47
Morris
seconds
responds
to go.
in kind. I think when the story of this game is told, it'll be a game of loose balls, although Cougars starting to get a few fouled there. No call, or at least we thought it was a foul. Referee Virg Sanders says it was all ball. I'll take Virgil's word for it. And with 21 seconds left and a score of 64-52, you can put this one in the book for the Mustangs of Mira Costa. They've come into the Cougars den tonight, and they're going to leave here with a victory. But by the same token, the fans of Hawthorne saw Adon Baines put on yet another show. And that's our final. 64-52 in favor of Mira Costa, except for when they trailed early on by a score of 4-3. Mira Costa led throughout the whole way a couple of times there in the second half. The Cougars got within a deuce or so, David, but they never could quite get over the hump. And in the fourth quarter, Mira Costa pulled away for a final of 64-52.
Well, I think right now the problem for Hawthorne in the early part of the Ocean League, based on our observation here tonight, appears to be what they're going to do on the offense. Adon Baines, of course, is an excellent ball handler and an excellent scorer, but he has to work the rest of his teammates into the offense, and more importantly, his other teammates have to want to be into the offense. Rodney Williams never effectively got into the offense, and he's been a good offensive player this year. The front line, Hassan Ketter, this is his first ball game coming back from a very bad injury, so he's going to be off to a little slow start. You have to like his play, you have to like the play of Baines, but in the early part of the season, for them to be successful, they're going to have to start working more players into the offense and start adjusting to what the other teams are giving them. As you look ahead, next ball game for Hawthorne, they will go on the road to play at Torrance on Monday night, and Mira Costa will be at West Torrance, so a little bit of a road challenge for both of the teams. But for them to turn it around, basically, I think their offense needs a little more work than the defense at this point.
So, once again, our final, Mira Costa 64, Hawthorne 52. A big night on the scoring column for Don Baines, but Dave has given an excellent recap of the kind of things that the Cougars would need to do to get the ship righted. The loss tonight brings their record to 5-10 overall. They're 0-2 in Ocean League competition. The win pulls Mira Costa to 500 at 7-7 and 1-1 in Ocean League competition. Let me just say, for all the folks at Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22, under the able direction of Mr. Tom Strickfadden, and of course, the crew that works so ably and so diligently with them, for all of those folks and Dave Marks, I'm Rufus Washington saying thank you for joining us tonight, and we look forward to seeing you on our broadcast next week on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. Good night, everybody.